Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But first, a brief message from the Small Business Administrator, Karen Mills.
This past week was Small Business Week, and at the SBA, we brought over 100 of our great small business winners here to Washington. Log on to sba.gov to hear their stories and to find out about all the opportunities available to small business. Let's make every week Small Business Week, except for Shark Week. We don't want to mess with that.
This week, May 21st to the 27th, or I State Your Name.
I state your name.
On Friday, May 21st, President Obama spoke with members of his White House staff, his cabinet, and leaders from the transportation industry in the Roosevelt Room, before signing a presidential memorandum on increasing fuel efficiency and reducing harmful emissions for trucks.
Would I miss that? Just members of Congress.
We brought together all the stakeholders, including former adversaries, to support a policy that would benefit consumers, workers, and the auto industry.
The president then met with members of his economic team to discuss progress on Wall Street reform.
We ready? Come on in.
The president also spoke with Chris Dodd and Barney Frank, chairman of the Congressional committees handling the reform bill in the Senate and House. On Saturday, May 22nd, the president traveled to the West Point Military Academy to deliver this year's commencement address. He was joined by Veterans Affairs Secretary Eric Shinseki, West Point class of 1965. Before his speech, the president was given a thorough briefing demonstrating the military precision on display at the ceremony.
That's pretty cool. Get my cadets sailing.
At no time in human history has a nation of diminished economic vitality maintained its military and political primacy. And so that means that the civilians among us, as parents and community leaders, elected officials, business leaders, we have a role to play. We cannot simply leave it to those in uniform to defend this country. We have to make sure that America is building on its strengths.
And then, the class of 2010 was dismissed. On Monday, the president hosted the weekly call with Gulf Coast governors to provide the latest information on the BP oil spill and coordinate the activities to stop it.
Even as we're doing everything we can to assist BP in stopping the oil flow, we are preparing for the worst. And I make that point because I think there's been this notion circulated lately that somehow if we just shove BP out of the way, or we're a little tougher on it, somehow we can come up with better answers. The fact of the matter is that if there's something that we can do better than BP, we will do it. If there's something that BP has to do, we'll make sure that they do it.
That afternoon, President Obama greeted Lebanese Prime Minister Hariri in the Oval Office to discuss international and regional issues. The president and prime minister affirmed their mutual desire to strengthen Lebanese sovereignty and independence. Later, on the White House basketball court, the president also made time to shoot hoops with young, aspiring Russian players as part of the Presidential Bilateral Commission, an exchange set up with President Medvedev to further athletic and cultural ties.
Everybody here watch the NBA?
Yeah.
So you see how LeBron may be the best player.
Видно, что Леброн может быть самый лучший игрок, да?
But he lost because Boston was a better team.
Но проиграл он, потому что Бостон лучше играл как команда.
On Monday evening, the President and First Lady hosted a reception on the State floor to celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and the unique cultural influence the community has on America.
I want to thank DJ Raika, who's been spinning a little East Room Bhangra for everybody, mixing a hip-hop beat with the sounds of her heritage, making a uniquely American sound that may not have been heard in the White House before.
On Tuesday, the president went out to the Rose Garden to herald Small Business Week, a White House tradition started by John F. Kennedy in 1963 to celebrate the entrepreneurs that form the economic backbone of the nation.
Now, government can't create jobs, but it can help create the conditions for small businesses to grow and to thrive and to hire more workers. Government can't guarantee a company's success, but it can knock down the barriers that prevent small business owners from getting loans or investing in the future.
Later that afternoon, the president went to the Capitol to speak with members of the Senate Republican Conference about ways to work together on some important issues coming before Congress. Afterwards, the president said they had a good discussion. That evening, the president left for sunny San Francisco, where he stayed overnight. On Wednesday, President Obama went to Fremont, California, just north of San Francisco, to tour Solyndra Incorporated, a company that makes solar panels. Thanks to loans from the Recovery Act, Solyndra is building a new factory where it will hire 1,000 new workers. The president took a look with California Governor Schwarzenegger.
Manufacturing my bit. We're going to keep on building stuff here in America.
You're demonstrating that the promise of clean energy isn't just an article of faith, not anymore. It's not some abstract possibility for science fiction movies or a distant future. It's happening right now.
On Thursday, the president welcomed the NCAA men's basketball champion Duke Blue Devils to the White House. It was a special treat for former Duke captain and current presidential aide Reggie Love.
Tell everyone, had I not been playing and learning from you guys, I never would have been there. So,
I know that all of you remember last year when I filled out my bracket. I picked North Carolina to win it all. It wasn't anything personal, just trying to win some money. I was right.
President Obama was later joined by President Clinton and Vice President Biden in greeting the U.S. World Cup soccer team before they depart for competition in South Africa. The president then held a news conference in the East Room, speaking to the American people about ongoing efforts to contain the BP oil spill.
Yesterday, the federal government gave BP approval to move forward with a procedure known as a top kill to try to stop the leak. This involves plugging the well with densely packed mud to prevent any more oil from escaping. And given the complexity of this procedure and the depth of the leak, this procedure offers no guarantee of success. But we're exploring any reasonable strategies to try and save the Gulf from a spill that may otherwise last until the relief wells are finished.
The president also met with Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, emphasizing the historic bonds our nations share, as well as the tremendous strides Liberia has made towards improving stability and governance.
In all these endeavors, I want to make sure that the people of Liberia understand, and I certainly want you, Madam President, to understand that the United States is going to be a constant friend and partner.
To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.
This is a sample of a small sample of what we make in the factory. Just for you to take back. We understand Vice President Biden has one, so we don't want you to feel left out.
Biden,
Yeah.
something I don't have.
And